Welcome, everybody. Today we have ourselves Ryan Ballasty
Hello.
and Akshay Ramshanswani
Hi.
and myself, Connor. And we do not have Joe today because Joe has fallen greatly ill,
I mean, yeah, he's just not feeling
but
well.
I'm sure he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Everyone
He'll
pay
be
your
fine.
respects to
And
Joe in the
so-
comments below, please. Just to show your
Yeah.
support and everything.
And because Joe is not with us today, we have got ourselves a backup. Would you please like to introduce yourself, mystery backup?
Hello, my name is Backup, and I'm the backup.
Correct.
Okay, so who
Very
we have
nice.
here is Benjamin Kavanaugh, Connor's younger brother.
Woo! Yeah.
Absolute legend in the call.
Thank you.
So today we're gonna be doing a little podcast that we have actually kind of did it before, but we had a little technical difficulty.
Again.
We're gonna be
Yeah.
talking about the best game ever. That's the general topic.
Like
So we're just gonna
of
get into
history.
Yeah.
that. Yeah, okay. So I think first what we want to do is we want to like get out of the way what everyone thinks about like what everyone looks for in a game.
Yeah, like what
So would
makes it
anybody like to
good,
take that away?
You know what? Backup. Do you want to speak first?
Sure. So, what makes a good game? Well, I personally believe the game mechanics make a good game
Oh,
because
Explain.
because game mechanics
What are game mechanics?
Like
are the
what?
fundamental of the game.
you know, what's
Like-
the game
So
mechanic?
stuff like
Oh, like jump.
a game mechanic would be like maybe it's a shooter, maybe it's a kind of like maybe there's destructible environments, maybe the environments change, they're randomized.
All right.
Basically it's the things that
Unique aspects.
unique aspects.
I have
that
to say-
make the game itself.
Wait, okay, two things. Firstly, I love destructible games like Just Cause series. That's amazing.
What do you mean? What do you mean
It's
destructible
Joe's-
games? Like
it's
what?
Joe's favorite game.
Like in
Sad he's not here with us.
Just Cause, for example, you could go around and just like destroy pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Like buildings,
Facts.
bridges, just like everything.
Oh, so it's like Fortnite.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's exactly
No,
like
please.
Fortnite. It's
Well, I'm
everything
just
like
trying to put it
Fortnite.
into
Gotcha.
like something
But
that I
Just Cause
understand.
is good.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, Just Cause is good.
Okay.
And secondly,
Alright.
would game mechanics be something like if you're walking on snow and you see your footprints?
Or those graphics.
That's not really a game mechanic because
Okay.
it doesn't influence the gameplay. That would
Okay.
be more just kind of like
graphics.
visual, graphics maybe, but
like
that-
visual
a
pleasure.
more specific term.
Can we say
Yeah,
can it be
visual-
visual pleasure when playing the game?
I mean, you can refer
Satisfaction.
Yeah,
You can
okay.
refer to it as
Okay,
that if you
fine.
want.
That will be the criteria. So just visual satisfaction. Okay, continue back up. Continue.
I don't know. Oh, could someone take it off from me?
Well, okay.
Okay, Connor, you go ahead.
Basically, oh no, I've been going through this like weird phase where like, no matter how horrible like a game is like to play, if the story's good, I'll play it. So like, I'm pretty sure that's like the only thing like, if it has a story that'll make me go like, yo, damn, I'm in the feels. I'm about to cry. This game about to make me cry. But you know what? I'm like, okay, you know what? You're a good game, even if it's like chess, just with like
Chess is good.
But like, does chess have a good story? Like a connecting, like engaging characters.
I mean,
Yeah,
you could
think
say
about
the
it.
same
The
about,
the queen dies for the
let's
king.
say CS:GO or something.
That's cute.
CS:GO, that's one of the biggest games of all
CS
time, and
CS:GO is
it doesn't have
amazing.
it doesn't really have a story. Yeah.
Ryan, what? All right, okay. We've gone over sort of like some of the aspects of like but like, what games in particular sort of do we think highlight like sort of quality games?
I personally believe that Skyrim is such a quality game. I mean, it's a poorly optimized game, sure. There's glitches, there's all of that, but the thing it sets out to accomplish, it does quite well. Kind of like that being a role-playing game, and kind of like
It's like the
being
Godfather
a
of
medieval
role playing
simulator.
games, right?
It is, It is. It really is, and the community it's built around it. It's got such a big community
Can
and
you-
such a big
wait,
modding team.
Could you explain what Skyrim is for people who don't know?
Sure. Skyrim is a role-playing fantasy medieval adventure game made by Bethesda Studios, released back in 2011.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like 9 years old now, which is quite incredible. And yeah, you take on kind of like you fight dragons and stuff. That's all the detail I'm gonna go into it. 'Cause there's too much.
It's a cool game. It's a cool game.
It is
a
a
cool game, yeah.
It is a cool game. And like, okay, actually, what do you, when you play a game, what is it that like, to you sticks out as like, damn, that's a good game, and like why?
I think like subtle, like the graphics for sure, especially in like the day and age we live in now. I could like you would expect graphics to be good and like adequate at least, so you can like recognize subtleties in the game and
High
stuff.
standards.
Yeah, but like I'm serious, and also I also think that certain things that I appreciate about a game and something that like makes me feel just happy when I play is like just like certain details that maybe are inspired from, let's say, Spider-Man. So a lot of the web slinging and a lot of that stuff pays homage to the Spider-Man 2 game released in around 2004 2005, and a lot of the so a lot of the like the swinging mechanics was inspired from that, and also just a lot of like just the different stance Spider-Man takes and certain like skill moves were taken from that game. So I think in that respect, I feel that just subtleties make a game even better and just propel it to a different league. I mean, personally, yeah, and also just a good story mode, a
Different.
good compelling story mode, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, just a good graphics, a good story mode, then I'm happy.
So, would you say that would you still play a game if it had quite poor graphics but a good story, good gameplay? Would you still play that?
I
So,
think
like me.
yeah, I think
So,
it,
yeah.
it depends on when it may have been released. If it's bad graphics and it was released maybe in 2018, I would be put off by it. But if it's something like Skyrim, for example, like that was released in 2011, it's not the best graphics, but it's like it's at least fits the standards of most of the 2011 games. So in that respect, it depends on when it was
If not
released.
exceeds.
Skyrim has
Yes.
pretty good graphics.
Skyrim
I mean,
Skyrim has aged very well. Not gonna lie.
but I haven't played it, so I really can't say. But just from what I've seen, like from gameplay I've seen online, I think honestly it really just depends on when it was released, and then I think I'll be fine with it.
No, but
That's
to be fair, like when I played Skyrim, I thought it was boring.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I played it for a bit and I'm like, this is really boring.
Well, I also find it gets quite boring if you kind of like you've
But I
gotten
think
lost interest in the story or whatnot,
Yeah,
because
but-
it doesn't have a very good story.
it is also really
but-
extensive as well, right? It's very long, I'm assuming.
yeah, it's long. No.
Oh yeah.
Maybe the reason you got bored is because you've played, I think, 1,000 hours.
Like it's more
What
like
do you- What do
more
you?
like 600 hours. But,
Oh
Okay,
my.
calm.
yeah, but I wouldn't be able to play Skyrim to that extent if it weren't for the modding community behind it, because
Explain what a mod is and
a
what
mod
Yeah.
is a modification to the actual game. It's where like
Who's it made by?
the fan base creates a kind of like creates new items, creates new quests, new NPCs for the game because they love it so much, to allow them to have more replay value in it.
Yes, sir.
And it has a bit it has over 1 billion downloads on the Nexus mod manager site. It's a site that basically houses all the mods released for Skyrim, and is the main tool for lots of modding communities, which is very cool.
Sick.
That's cool.
So like basically an example of like a mod is that they could be like, yo, I don't I'm kind of bored of fighting dragons, and they
You want
could,
them to be Thomas the Tank Engine instead?
yeah, you can make them. You can make your dragons Thomas the Tank
So
Engine.
like in
If you
GTA
really
5,
wanted to.
so like a lot of the mods in GTA 5, right? It's like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Uh,
Like that. GTA also has a very good fan base
But-
with modding.
But do you think
What?
that aspect, like, do you think that that aspect of having modifications ruins the integrity of a game, or do you think that you
Not at all.
need to have modifications on a game to make it better? Like, I feel like that takes away some of the aspects of what makes a good game. For example, like that's
I think
I think it depends on the mod. It depends on the mod.
I think that having modifications is just, it makes the game so much better because you can uniquely customize it to be yours. That's more just to do with Skyrim because of the abundance of mods there are, but kind of like you can make your Skyrim completely different from anyone else's Skyrim. Kind of like you could ramp up the graphics to make it look like a game released in 2020. You could
oh
do all that, and it kind of gives you a lot more customizability. Yeah.
oh okay, because like for me personally, sorry Ryan, actually Ryan, go.
nah, it's all good. You go ahead.
No, but like I just want to say, like, personally for me, for some reason I feel that a good game wouldn't need any modifications to it. So if it was a game that was already like amazing, it wouldn't need any modifications to it. Like for example, like GTA 5, like I see that as a really good game, but it wouldn't need modifications so that it would be improved. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
like,
but
The thing is,
I think-
I
Okay.
Kind of like if you have a good game, alright, so GTA, you think it's a really good game. Alright, so then let's say you finish the story mode, you finish that, and then you want to replay it. This time maybe you might download a weapon pack which adds tons of more weapons for you to play with. Maybe things that change up the cop AI to make them more or less violent towards the civilians and whatnot.
mhm.
It just kind of like, you can improve a game that's already extremely good.
calm.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
I think
we're going off a bit from what makes a game great. I think we're going too far into mods. I think.
I know, but I feel like that
Okay,
is
but
also.
I'm just
like,
gonna
part of it.
I'm just gonna add one more thing. I think one of the things that does make games great and is related to mods is the community that games have around them. And whilst obviously developers love what they've made, they put so much time and effort into these games. I think developers
Oh,
who
sure.
don't let mods like be put in are almost stunting the community, because like the
Facts.
GTA community and the Skyrim community, the developers made these amazing games, and then they leaned into the mods, so their community kept growing and it flourished, and it's just kept interest in those games up going forever and ever and ever. And that's why you see these memes of like whenever there's a new console, GTA, Skyrim, Minecraft, like hello, allow us to introduce ourselves.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
One more thing I would like to add on the modding thing
Alright,
before we swap off
yeah.
is that kind of like Skyrim. It was really alright. Sorry about talking about Skyrim so much, but it's just a very good example. But it was released in 2011. That's 9 years ago. So, and it's kept up a consistent fan base throughout this entire lifespan.
Yeah.
That's because of the mods. That's because of the replay value they give, and kind of like all that. So yeah, that's just the thing I wanted to add on.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go into a different prompt now. Maybe one thing we didn't talk about, maybe the ability of games to increase their fan base, or like a game to be better based on their multiplayer ability. So like Subnautica, for example. This is an amazing game which Joe loves so much, and unfortunately he can't be here. But they have strictly ruled out.
Explain Subnautica.
Okay, Subnautica is this game where you've crash landed onto a planet, an alien planet, and it's the most of the planet is underwater. So you spend this entire game diving underwater, building stuff. It's like a survival game underwater, and it also has a story.
Well, that sounds
But
sick.
Fish go blub blub.
the developers of the game have ruled out that they're never gonna add multiplayer.
Oh, what?
So Joe's a little unhappy about that, but I personally think that's sort of like playing games with your friends. You're never gonna match that with a story.
No.
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah,
What do you mean
yeah.
by that?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Like, okay, so
Yeah, what do you mean that you can't match it with a story?
I can agree that story games are amazing, but I personally prefer something like Minecraft per se. That game has absolutely no story. Okay, it has a little story.
That game has so much.
It has a little story, but
The lore.
but
No, okay.
but Minecraft has survived for how long? Like
10 years.
10 years, and we've been
I think. Oh, 2009.
Longer.
that's
2009.
11 years.
Yeah, 11 years.
That's-
I think. Wait.
And Connor, me, Joe, for sure, have been playing that game for 11 years. We still play it to this day. That's not because of like the story or anything. That's because playing with your friends obviously makes the game far better and easier to play.
In that sense, then that is
No, but-
that is an
alright.
important aspect, really. I think. Yeah.
It's
Ryan.
it's this. Okay, yeah, go.
Ryan, what is your least favorite game, or like just a game you don't like?
Farming Simulator.
Okay. Would you? Farming Simulator has multiplayer. Would you say that your enjoyment of it improved because there was multiplayer, or was just?
I think-
the
no.
fundal-
I
no
think
matter the
if-
fundamentals, if you can play with others, it's better.
If there was no multiplayer in Farming Simulator, I would not have played it.
But only because I bought it for you, and I bought it for Joe.
Yeah.
So we could all play together. Did you play it?
Yeah, that's why we played it. We played it on the bus on the way to school. And then Joe was
And
so
it is-
excited about farming his crops, and I was like, "What are we doing?"
Hey, it's kind of beautiful. honestly.
not a good game.
So then, yeah.
Yeah, but kind of like. Oh, all right. Yeah. No.
No. You go on. No, it's okay. It's okay.
All right. So kind of like with. Kind of like having multiplayer in games, anything will be fun if you're able to banter along with
Yeah.
friends. Kind of like
That's true. That is true. That is
Let's
true.
say Sea of Thieves. It came out in 2018. It's a pirate game where you are a
Multiplayer pirate game. Yeah.
Yeah, and you control a ship. That game is actually pretty lackluster. Kind of like on the surface, there's barely nothing to do. There's
It
no
sucks.
progressing.
I've played it.
It really does
sucks.
suck. Yeah, but it's only kind of like good because you can go around on a ship with your friends. You can you can just mess around. You can shoot each other off cannons. It's that kind of like the fact that you can,
camaraderie, sort of.
sure, yeah, exactly that, and it just allows you to have so much more fun because you can make a rock game where you're just a rock. You can make that fun if you have the right friends.
If you're all rockers.
Then for example, so okay.
Rock gang.
Back up with what you said for would you think that applies, or like would you think that would transition to a game such as like Call of Duty Ghosts?
So multiplayer,
Yeah.
and how friends make everything good.
Yeah, because
Alright, so Call of Duty Ghosts.
Well,
No one buys a Call of Duty game for the campaign.
yeah.
Let's be real.
I mean,
Legit,
Black Ops 2
no-
was a pretty
no
good
ri-
campaign.
no right-minded human being.
Black Ops 2 was a good campaign.
That was a bonus. That was a bonus.
Yeah,
You don't boot up Call of Duty nowadays to be like, yo, I can't
yeah,
wait
that's
to.
true.
Yeah,
play
also
that-
isn't
play that
Call of
story,
Duty
man.
Ghosts the worst?
Exactly.
it
that's
is.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I mentioned it.
But-
So I'm like, since that is.
But the main
Yeah, don't even have zombies.
reason people have Black Ops games is for the multiplayer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the death matches,
COD
Oh,
games.
I mean,
zombies.
Call of Duty games in general. Like, it's built its entire
franchise
kind of
around it.
marketing around this
Yeah.
part, around being around the
Yeah,
multiplayer.
it's because
Yeah.
Call of Duty World War II didn't even have a story,
Okay. Yeah.
did it? It was completely multiplayer, wasn't
It
it?
was completely multiplayer and had zombies.
Yeah, so exactly. I think that just shows it that that's the focus. Is that multiplayer is what people want, and multiplayer is what sells.
But I'm pretty sure that game poorly performed.
I know, but that's the point, is that they felt confident enough.
Just not having a story.
It's because every single COD game has had a story mode.
Yeah.
Every single COD game.
But Connor,
And then this.
sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, continue. I'm just gonna talk after you finish.
No, but like, sort of every single COD game has had it, and so for them to say, all right, we don't need a story, it sort of shows that, I think, what is considered like a good game or a popular game is going more towards, it has to be online.
Yeah, that is true. Honestly,
It's like It's so
especially
rare
especially
for,
in
like-
nowadays.
yeah.
Online is like
Yeah,
a
go,
must.
Akshay?
Yeah, online, yeah. And like, yeah, with Connor, you hinted on like sales and like game sales. And I think that multiplayer games, like even those certain games like story mode games like God of War and like Spider-Man PS4, for example,
That's a good
are
game.
amazing games. However, games such as FIFA, are notorious for like the amount of sales they get because of the multiplayer aspect. And with what you said,
It's the same game.
Whoever buys the FIFA every year is actually one of the dumbest people in the world.
I know.
Akshay.
Hi,
I know.
Akshay.
no, that's
It's-
that's not me. No, that's not me. That's my friends.
I stopped last year. I don't buy them anymore.
Yeah.
I haven't
I only
I
have
just bought the
19
last
through
19.
through the
No.
2000.
I only have 3 FIFAs, and that's it.
Oh,
It's the same game, just
Only
with a different
3.
number.
And different graphics.
Yeah.
I mean, the graphics.
The graphics aren't
Yeah,
even
the graphics.
that much
Yeah,
better.
they're not really that
I
much.
played FIFA 17 and then I played FIFA 20 and I didn't realize that I was playing FIFA 20. I thought it was the same game. It's disgusting.
Okay.
I hate them so
No,
much.
but they
Okay,
still
on-
get the sales, and a lot of people genuinely.
Yeah,
They
which is
do.
so-
of
It's-
course
it's
they do, because
annoyingly
they've got
stupid.
fanboys.
Okay, yeah.
Oh no, I can't
And
kick,
and the
I can't kick ball
microtransactions
myself.
in it.
I can't
The
kick ball myself. I must
microtransactions
play a
are
game where I kick ball.
disgusting. How it's just gambling in a game. How you have to pay the $60 price tag, and then on top of that, to actually have a chance of winning if you're not good at it, you have to buy the loot boxes, the card packs, to kind of get Messi, get Ronaldo, get all of them, and
Yeah.
kind of like you won't have them otherwise.
That's like
You
every-
just
yeah,
have to
that's
pay real
every-
money to get an advantage.
That's every sports game. Yeah, that's actually true.
On it, actually, yes. That's actually so. I've never played a sports game that doesn't have.
EA
microtransactions.
sucks.
EA does suck.
EA
EA is a
Sports.
scam.
And it's because
Yeah,
when
exactly.
EA released Battlefront is,
Battlefront 2, yeah, it was notorious for having such a bad loot box system. How it was so pay to win and all of that. Yeah,
huge.
screw
L,
it,
huge
EA.
L.
okay.
Alright.
So on that note, I think Ben already introduced his favorite game, Skyrim, obviously.
Yeah.
Akshay, do you have a favorite game? Like,
No, I don't know.
do you have a couple?
I don't want to go first. I want Connor to go instead.
Okay.
'Cause I
Okay.
think that's tough,
Alright.
yeah.
No, baby doesn't want to go first. Connor, go ahead.
Blue baby,
Alright.
blue baby.
I'd say like based on I guess the amount I've played, I guess it's got to be Minecraft in terms of just, I guess if you look at it as sort of enjoyment I've got out of it for how much I guess I paid for it or something. Like I've played Minecraft probably more than most other games I've ever played combined.
I will agree with that.
And so in that case I'd say it's my favorite game, but then also I think the thing is because I love like games with a story so much that like Minecraft like allows like so much, but then like if I want a story, Minecraft is not
Yeah.
I guess the first thing that comes to my mind. So I
Yeah.
think in terms of a good story, I have to say like I think my favorite game is probably The Witcher 3.
But
I think
Connor, what game do you think fulfills all of those criterias?
The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3. Like I can't explain to you like when I finished the game like a month ago and I felt empty. Like I lied down on the floor.
Explain to the
and I like looked up at the sky and I said, "Why? Why does this have to end?"
Explain to the people
See, look,
what
this
Witcher
is why
3
modding
is.
would be great.
Shh.
Yeah, explain
Don't
the Witcher.
disgrace the great name.
Yeah, explain.
The Witcher 3 for us.
Okay, it's basically it's a role playing fantasy game, sort of like Skyrim but better, and
Oh, yeah.
essentially.
Made into
By
a
the name The
game.
Witcher 3, there's 2 more games before that. And so it's a progressive story where you play as this guy called Geralt. And I guess nothing. You don't really need to know anything else except the story is like, it's like the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed. It's like if I ever have a child, like the feeling of giving birth to a child would, well, no, not me giving birth.
The feeling of holding
Yeah, exactly. That's just
No,
the feeling of holding your child.
It would not amount. It would not amount to the beauty of that story. Like
I mean, child.
The Witcher comes first, and then my child is second.
No, but childbirth, I don't think is the most like exciting sight. if
Okay,
I'm
we're
being
not
honest.
putting this. We're not going into childbirth on this podcast.
Yeah.
Let's go away
Yeah,
from
just
this
subject.
subject.
Okay. Are you done, Connor?
But it's just it. Well, no, okay. I just it also, it's the thing of. It doesn't have those sort of. It doesn't have microtransactions. It doesn't. It's very much just a straight to it. It's just a game. Like, you can. It's just this, and there's so much to do, and you can feel the attention to detail that went into it. There's so many just things that you can completely ignore, but if you just take the time to go and look at it, it's there. It's that feeling of like it's a whole world, and then that's how I get like encapsulated in it, and then I think that real life is boring because this is so much cooler, and then I finish the game, and then I lie on the ground and have an existential crisis for many years, still going on today. What is life?
Damn, that sounds exciting.
I cry every night.
Okay, so
And moving on.
personally, I'm gonna go next. Seeing as Connor took the slot of saying Minecraft, which I definitely would have loved to say. I'm gonna go for.
You can explain a bit.
Yeah, I
more.
mean,
No,
I think
I'm
you
all
can
good.
say.
I think we could explain Minecraft, but that would be useless because if you don't know what Minecraft is, you're not watching this podcast.
Okay, yeah.
Personally,
You're a
I'll
degenerate.
go off my most played game on Steam, which is CS:GO.
Hey.
Counter-Strike Global Offensive, 222 hours, I think.
Wow.
Yes, I know. I have no life. Oh no, no, never mind. I've just looked. It's 269 hours.
Nice.
CS:GO.
Nice.
I love CS:GO so much, and I honestly couldn't tell you why. It's just amazing. It's the most amazing
Because
game.
they have gambling.
There is microtransactions in the game, and for some
But they're purely cosmetical.
they're purely cosmetical. So they give you like gun skins, they give you knives, all that stuff. Stickers for some reason.
Stickers are cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have a couple stickers on my AK and I love them. But whilst I know microtransactions are bad for some reason, I'm gonna defend them here. I love them. I absolutely love my skins so much.
All right. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were talking about we hate microtransactions in the way that kind of like maybe you can't play any more of the game if you don't pay for
Oh
it.
yeah. Okay.
Or, like,
when it's
it
like
makes, like
when it's like
it makes you better.
yeah, when it's like you're paying to win the game, that's stupid. I think every player who buys the game to start out with should be on a level playing field. But when
Same level.
it comes to Counter-Strike, they don't really. It doesn't make you better at the game. It just makes you.
it makes you more confident.
It makes
though,
you more
but
confident,
it
and
doesn't make you
it
better.
makes you look badass.
It's I feel like with Counter Strike it's more of a status thing because like
It definitely
certain-
is.
It is.
it's because
yeah.
I remember like a game that's sort of similar like that is Team Fortress 2, which I used to play when I was like 12 or something.
I
And
still
I
play
just
that.
remember like there were certain things you could pay for, and like certain of these cosmetic items cost like $1,000. Like
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
It was
it's insane,
incredible.
and people buy them.
People
and
do
it-
buy them.
And it's just for the status. It's like buying a Lamborghini. It's like, yeah, that's right. I got the racks.
But the cool thing about Team Fortress 2 and Counter Strike is that they've both built a kind of like a market, kind of like a working economy around the items in the game, and you can actually make profit off kind of like the game.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
And it's really interesting that they have their own currency, like keys.
I mean,
Kind of like there's an in-game item called keys that allow you to open crates, and those can be traded around for items, and then you can sell those items for real money, and it's incredible.
I
oh
don't know
wow.
how people get keys. I don't think you can get them in game
You
other than
you
buying them
pay-
on the store.
I mean, I know how to get them in Team Fortress 2. You can trade with other people, but using scrap. But I don't know how to get it in Counter Strike without paying.
But I think I'm gonna talk about a different game, which is like also strongly story based. For those of you who are wondering, that is Connor's bird. His name is Rango.
Django.
Django.
How dare you.
Everyone say hi to Django. Okay. So, the game I'm
leaving,
gonna
don't
talk about
worry.
is God of War, which
Yes.
I think Akshay loves.
Yeah.
Connor also
PS4 exclusive.
likes, I assume.
I don't know. Yeah, Connor. I don't know
Well, the
what's
thing is,
wrong
I
with
can't
you.
play it. I can't
Oh,
play
yeah.
it. I know it's
I've
good.
never played it
We
either,
Xbox boys.
but I have watched a playthrough of it just because I love that story so much. I love how they include historical, like, I mean, what's it, Scandinavian
mythology.
Norse mythology
Yeah.
into the game, along with continuing on from the Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I love the game mechanics in the way the axe is thrown.
Oh yeah, that's
I
so cool.
I still love that so much.
That's
That is
incredible.
Okay,
so
so-
cool.
So, God of War is a game where you play as the God of War from Greek mythology.
No. He's not actually
He's
the god.
he's
Um,
he's he's the new God of War after he killed Ares.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not like it's not legit mythology. That's not an actual
Ares.
mythology.
Oh yeah, Ares.
It's not in actual mythology, but in the game,
It's a story
in
based
the-
in the context of
yeah.
Greek mythology to an extent.
And now Norse.
And then
Yeah.
somehow, I don't think we ever found out he's found his way to Norse mythology,
Yeah.
and
I don't know how he did
he
that.
goes on this journey with his son, who
His
is
son?
also a
Boy.
wild card we didn't know he had,
Yeah.
to deliver his wife's ashes to the tallest mountain in the 9 realms.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. You fight Greek gods, you fight Baldur, and
You don't fight Greek gods. You fight Norse gods.
Norse god.
Norse gods,
Norse. Yeah.
Norse. You
Norse.
fight Baldur and Thor's sons,
Yeah, the two of them.
and it's
Oh,
just really
yeah.
cool. It's a cool game.
Yeah, no, but it's so cool. It goes from like it's one mission simply. Like it sounds so simple. Like yeah, you just have to deliver her his wife's and mom's ashes to a mountain. But I genuinely thought that was like one part of the game. However, it extends so much that after you deliver the mom's ashes, it's done. But the fact that there's so many different
Try not to spoil.
Okay, yeah, but the fact that there are just so many different components that happen like throughout, that there's so many different story modes that like happen throughout that are so unexpected. I felt like that made me so much more like attentive with the game, and it made me enjoy it more. I think that Ryan, were you expecting that when you're like watching it?
No, I think it's a lot like another game that I also have a lot of love for, Uncharted 4. These games where they give you one objective at the beginning of the game. Although Uncharted 4 is less of an open world game, I'd say.
Yeah,
It's more of like
Yeah,
a story
it's
game,
mission.
whilst God of War is like a full-on open world game with... It's like God of War is more like Skyrim, with like a more
It's
direct
semi-open world.
storyline.
yeah,
And Uncharted
More
4
linear.
and Uncharted 4 is like God of War in the sense that it has this one story which you just keep finding out there's new things you got to do to get to that specific end of the story.
yeah,
Uncharted 4 is a game where you follow Nate, who is a
Nathan Drake.
treasure hunting legend.
yeah. Nathan
And
Drake.
you-
Nathan
You're hunting
Drake.
for Henry Avery's treasure, who is a pirate from the 18th century.
Mhm.
That's all I'm going to tell you. It's a good game.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it for free on the PS4, like in the PlayStation Store, and I started it, but like I don't know why, for some reason it got a little bit like it was just a little bit boring, like in at the
Oh.
beginning, but I'm still yet to finish. I know it's like one of the best like PlayStation games out there, but I still need to get to that point where it's like attentive, like God of War, for example, like how that feeling was created. Like that.
Didn't you cry in God of War?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I did.
Even
No,
Yeah.
respect.
No, I didn't like cry. Like I didn't bawl. I had like I had a
Yeah.
tear dripping.
You just wept
No,
greatly.
no,
a
but
sing
like
a single tear rolled down his
yeah,
face.
yeah. But that
I feel that.
yeah,
I
and
feel
then
that.
but that is also one of my favorite games for sure. That and also Ryan, weren't you also gonna say what your favorite games were? Like, didn't you have another one that you admired closely?
What was the other one?
Did you not have another one?
No,
Okay, I was just hallucinating.
I
Then
mean
never mind.
there probably is another one.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
I
Okay,
guess. Okay, I guess one game style or one game like type that I haven't or that we haven't really touched upon is survival games, which I know they're not very popular among everyone. I do love them.
Well,
Games like
I get.
games like The Forest or Rust or let me go into my survival game section
Hey, Russ.
or Ark Survival Evolved or uh Don't Starve or Hurt World, Terraria, Subnautica, Stranded Deep, Rising Deep, Minecraft, which we have touched upon. I love those games so
Yeah, yeah.
much.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that, I guess, other other sort of other sort of games in the genre, in the survival genre, aren't. I wouldn't say survival is the most popular genre out there, but I think it's interesting that arguably one of the most popular games of all time, Minecraft, is at its most basics just straight up a survival game.
Mm.
yeah,
I think the reason that Minecraft always was so popular and the reason that these games are so I like them so much is because of the freedom that they allow you to have. Freedom is so important in a game.
yeah.
Like,
I guess if that's what it's aiming for,
yeah. Well,
because
what games
I guess there are
don't
certain
allow
games
freedom?
It just
Well, I guess there are certain games that are more restrictive in terms of they don't have an open world and they don't have that sort of survival aspect where you have sort of full control over what you're doing, like in Minecraft where you sort of have control about how you want to survive. You
When
can
it's like
build
when it's
your
like
house where you want it to.
when it's like a straight story mode thing, like Uncharted 4.
Yeah. Well, yeah, or like Tomb Raider.
Yeah. I guess.
And I guess there's sort of games like that don't even have. I guess like you could say like Overwatch or CS:GO. It's where there isn't. You wouldn't necessarily call it freedom. Basically,
Not at
the
all.
goal of the game is the goal of I guess CS:GO is very very simple. Essentially, it's beat the other team.
Yeah.
That's it.
CS:GO is a game, by the way, where counter-terrorists fight against terrorists to either defuse a bomb, save hostages, or just kill each other. Real quick
Yes,
real
sir.
quick overview there. Akshay, would you like to introduce any other games?
Spider-Man PS4 probably. Like that was a really good
Bet,
game,
so-
honestly.
so tell us
have
what
a
it's
great
about.
affection for that game.
I mean, it just tells the story of Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and his in like his. It just tells the story of his life, like during his like mid to late 20s, and how he's struggling with managing time with Mary Jane Watson, his family, and also the crime life. I mean, it's not
this-
it's that sounds really boring, but it is. There's a lot more to it that I can't really go in depth.
I mean, it sounds like it has a lot of compelling like issues built into it, like relatable issues.
And
Yeah,
and also I guess it has the image, like I guess the brand.
yeah.
Hmm.
Like it's a Spider-Man game. Spider-Man is one of, if arguably not the most popular superhero.
It is.
Ever,
He is.
yeah.
No, he
Like,
he is one.
statistically,
One.
he is.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
he's one. He's one.
He brought Marvel into the spotlight. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah, and so I guess that's the other thing is if you if we look at it from the idea of you deem a good game off its success commercially, a Spider-Man game no matter its actual quality will always be will always most likely be a success commercially.
I know.
Hmm.
I don't agree with you on that because all the games before, excluding Spider-Man 2, have not been good. Spider-Man, the Amazing
Yeah,
Spider-Man
but as
games,
in good,
not
good critically.
critically they weren't good, and commercially they weren't really that successful. The Spider-Man PS4 game is by far one, like, has solidified Spider-Man into the gaming, like, into the gaming scene, and it actually introduced a good game for Spider-Man because there weren't that many beforehand.
I'll agree with you there. The the games before weren't exactly the best,
They
and I
weren't,
guess
yeah.
they're. I get superhero games in general. There aren't. I wouldn't say there's a large abundance of them,
Yeah, there's only been
surprisingly.
Spider-Man and the Arkham series. They've been the most successful out of all, and the
Oh yeah,
most
the Batman
And
game.
the Injustice.
The Batman games hit
no,
different.
and the
The
Injustice games.
the Batman games were really good though.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I hope that they release actually another one, but they're probably not, considering how Arkham Knight left off. I don't know
I haven't even played it.
I haven't played it, but it looked bad.
how.
Oof.
How?
Oof. Big words.
Okay.
I was never a big fan of the kind of like detective story thing,
Oh.
so it just didn't look like my kind of game.
Dude, but
That's fair, that's fair.
it's honest. No, but like for real, like Spider-Man, definitely like the story element did take influence from that aspect considerably, I believe.
I've been thinking about something. I just want to know what you guys all thought about. What do you think about video games being regarded as like a form of art?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, what's
In
that game that PewDiePie played the other day? The samurai
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, that
Oh
one.
yeah,
that
yeah, Ghost of
that one is a
Tsushima
work of
or
art.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think is that there's very clear, but it's in. Do you think a game could be? I guess when you look at it, regarded as not a game, but like it transcends that to being like a work of art. And
Well, I think-
experiencing it, it's not like a juvenile.
I mean,
I feel
Yeah, I
like
think-
some
yeah.
like, story games can be like that.
Horizon
like
Zero
Firewatch,
Dawn.
for example.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Firewatch. Oh my god.
Firewatch is.
How about her?
Or
Yeah, how about Horizon
Zero
Zero
Dawn is a beautiful game.
I feel like that.
I've
is
never
a work of
watched
art.
Horizon, but I do know, I've heard of it.
But I guess when we talk about it like that, is it visual in terms of it's a work of art visually in terms of? I guess is that what we mean by a game being regarded as a work of art? It visually looks like an art piece, or I guess it's all of its factors together would consider it a work of art.
I mean, I'm sure there are some games that all of the factors together could be considered a work of art, but kind of like none come to mind right now.
I guess
I think-
'cause in the end, art is an experience, is it not? It's
Yeah, I guess like you
Yeah.
can say the same about movies, like that people
Yeah,
would call them a
movies
work
are
of.
considered a form of art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think story games for sure could definitely easily become a work of art, but I think
Well-
it's almost like society has like a view of games where they're like, it can't be art because it's just a bunch of people wasting their lives in fake worlds.
I feel like that's more of a like. I think that's more of a. I don't know what you would. I don't want to say boomer. I don't want to say that like.
Just go ahead.
It's
Like
kind of
that.
it's kind of accurate.
We'll figure
Yeah,
it out.
I feel like it's in that sense.
It's a thing of the older generation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's
This
because the
is-
thing is when a new idea is proposed, it's almost always
The o-
rejected or met with opposition. Because like things like the invention of photography. At first, I think it was a poet called Charles Baudelaire who, I forget what he said. He said something along the lines of, he was a very famous poet, and he said something about how something about the invention of the photograph being like, just like a threat to paintings. I guess that was the thing, is that it's a threat to true art, and that it lacks a soul.
Mm.
And so I guess, I mean, I don't think games are really, I guess it's not to that extent of like games are gonna destroy all other art and they're just heartless beings
Yeah,
that will suck our lives away.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I guess there is there are people that think that games are dumb.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
100%.
Yeah,
they have their
100%.
opinion. They
Yeah.
can think that.
Yeah.
Games cause teenagers to
We're
be
entitled to
violent.
an opinion.
Oh yeah, that's the.
Oh yeah, that's quite.
I mean,
dumb.
that's
I
a
was wondering
very
when that was gonna
that's
be
like
brought up.
such a like a
If
that's something that I don't know.
Well, just
If-
quickly on that topic, I feel that if a game prompts you to do something as horrible as like I guess shoot up a school, which is something that has been been mentioned in the past, like how they've been influenced by Call of Duty or something, is that I think they probably weren't stable enough to begin with.
yeah,
It's not just based off
Yeah,
Call
yeah.
of Duty.
Yeah, you can't
It's
no,
not
you
like
can't
you're
limit
perfectly- You're not mentally stable, and then you play Call of Duty, and then you're like.
yeah, you can't just limit it
Mm.
to
You know
the like to the environment that a game creates because there's been so many studies.
There's so many factors.
Yeah, there's also been so many studies conducted like that I've learned in psychology that it's not necessarily the use of technology that influences it is just it's just probably the way you perceive certain things that are within technology and how you take it. But that is not really that's not really like media. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that it's really something to limit like video games on, like basically say full on that yes, video games are the reason they're causing mental health issues. They are the reason they're like killing our children essentially. And I feel like by saying that it's completely wrong and it's just non-factual and stuff like
yeah.
that.
okay. In
I
2020,
think that belief is. Oh,
okay.
you can.
In 2020, there were 2.6 billion gamers in the world, right? Well, for argument's sake, we'll say about 50% of those games that they're playing, or gamers that are playing games, have played violent games. If
Yeah.
video games really were the cause of violence, there'd be a lot more people doing violent things. Like
I agree.
a couple bad apples doesn't exactly, it doesn't lead to a correlation. Sure, it shouldn't be ignored,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it shouldn't.
Causation doesn't mean correlation.
Yeah, it
I
shouldn't.
think
Other way
it's
around.
it's too large a sample size. It can't be just a few people and then you generalize it to everyone
Yeah.
else. It's basically like if I said, oh, a bunch of people, like how many people? Let's say like 100 million people cycle each day, and out of those 100 million people that cycle, 3 people murder. Like
Not all cyclists are murderers.
yeah, not all. That does that mean that cycling prompts you to be a murderer? No.
Like there may be
It's-
there may be a, like a like there may be a correlation, but there's definitely no causation, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
So
there's so many
peop-
there's so many factors. and
Maybe
something
being
like
a
that.
murderer causes you to cycle more. Maybe something like that. It could be the other way around. I know that's quite a stupid thing, but
All
kinda like, it
murderers
can-
are cyclists, but not all cyclists are murderers.
yeah. So it could be the other way around. So there are different way we can interpret them the wrong way. Yeah, like that, yeah. Maybe kind of like
Oh my
maybe
god.
being a murderer or maybe being in the wrong mindset causes you to play Call of Duty instead of Call of Duty causing you to be a murderer. Something like that. So that's much better than the cyclist thing.
I
still
wish
can't
I,
get over
I,
that you said that.
I wish all cyclists were murderers, because then they'd be in prison and not cycling on the road.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Jeez, but
Whoa.
definitely no one's definitely cycling at this
Whoa.
point.
We can only wish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't Joe own a bike?
Joe owns many bikes, and
Oh no. The more bikes you own, the higher the chance.
I guess Joe's a murderer.
Maybe that's why he's not on the podcast.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
guys, let's go back to the topic at hand.
Do we have
Yeah.
do we have anything else to say?
Any final points? Any like I guess. Do you want to like anyone want to sum up their points on what
But
I guess
Okay.
they believe makes the what
Video games.
I guess what makes the best game, or what is your favorite game?
What? Okay, let's start with what makes the best video game. I think the thing that everyone has said and agreed with is story.
yeah,
I think
Yeah,
everyone.
to an extent.
That's most
Not
like
every good game needs story, but yeah.
that is pretty much the strongest that we've found today. So you don't need you don't need to be a story game to be the best game, but a good story is amazing and it captivates all your entire audience and it'll increase replayability and everything.
That's true.
Multiplayer.
Multiplayer,
I would say
definitely.
second most important, multiplayer.
Not essential, but can like
If
change
it's
a game
built
from being.
around multiplayer, then it's perfect.
Yeah, it can be a game like being multiplayer or not can be the difference between like me playing it for like 10 hours or 100.
Yeah. And honestly, those two things are probably the most important. I would say graphics maybe. Third.
Yeah.
To
Graphics.
And to an extent, I think
Oh,
there's sort of games that go for a certain style which maybe isn't as highly detailed graphically.
Maybe they go for more of an art
Firewatch.
style.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Firewatch.
art style instead of
Firewatch.
like hyper realistic graphics.
Firewatch is amazing.
But then I guess I can appreciate if a game has great graphics that does play a thing in it. It's
Okay.
'cause when I like Red Dead Redemption, like when you step in that snow go crunch, and you know that the horse's testicles shrink when you go into cold places.
Okay, see,
Why?
I have not noticed that.
Why?
I have not noticed that.
They have
Maybe-
to study that.
Maybe I'll put
They needed someone to study that.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
noticed that on instant.
I haven't played the
I
game.
was like,
Okay.
whoa.
maybe
Small.
we'll put mechanics in third place then. 'Cause
Mechanics
mechanics are
yeah,
important.
yeah.
Yeah, when
So
horse shrinkage changed my life.
what? That's like that. We'll
Stop.
say that's the top 3 best things.
Yeah, and also
Top
but
three,
with
yeah.
the whole discussion about
Also mods.
yeah, okay, yeah, and
Yeah.
mods, but I feel like
Hey,
the
we'll-
whole discussion.
Oh no.
Sorry, but I feel like the whole discussion about genres and with being the best game ever, including that and all that stuff, I feel like that's just entirely subjective. I think any like that aspect of a game really depends on the person. So
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
yeah, so
you can't really you can't decide for other people.
yeah, so for us, like what would be considered the majority, what would make a good game are the biomechanics behind it. But when it comes to genre, that's a completely different topic, and it's the most subjective topic ever.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's true.
yeah, and
Big words, big words.
And obviously the games community and their modding and everything like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So on
A good community can make a game.
yeah,
Okay.
and on that note,
so-
yeah,
So I'm not gonna apologize, but I am gonna say like we're aware that this is a very different topic to our last podcast. So it may not be for everyone, but if you watched it, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Leave a like, comment down below what your favorite game
Yeah,
is.
thank you very much.
Comment Ben is the best for a shout out.
For a
Yeah.
shout out on his non-existent YouTube channel.
We may reply to you.
Our next week's topic is going to be Connor.
It will be drug use
Drug use.
Yeah.
and
It'll be
how
like
much we use them.
all the time.
Yeah,
All the time.
Daily.
For sure.
I will say again.
Okay, yeah, no, we're not
sarcasm.
actually, yeah, okay, we're not actually.
And just one more
What do you
thing.
mean you guys aren't actually?
Please comment whether you use a bicycle and if you have one, purely for the trivial purposes.
We will not
Just
be
need to
sending
make
the
sure.
information over to your local police department.
Bank
at all.
account as well, please.
Okay, on that note,
Okay,
Social
okay.
security number.
Now
Yeah,
it's
on
now
that
it's
note-
getting a little
Yes, sir.
derailed.
yeah.
Thank you
so
for
on that
watching.
note-
sir.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Thank
Hopefully
you for listening.
Yeah.
listening. Thank you, Ben. Hopefully Joe.
And thank you, Ben, for joining us.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, thank
Ho-
you.
thank
Woo,
you.
woo, woo, woo.
Hopefully Joseph Cotton will be able to rejoin us in
Hopefully not.
the next podcast. Oh,
Okay.
maybe we'll have to replace.
Alright.
Maybe we'll have to replace Joe with Ben.
Oh,
That would
maybe,
be great.
maybe.
Okay.
Or you could have us both on at the same time.
Okay. Bye bye, guys.
Facts.
Yeah,
you for watching.
Thank you for
Have a good
tuning
day.
in. Bye bye.
Thank